Okay, it's 3 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We could, let's see, let's start off by the pledge of allegiance, please. Allegiance to the flag of the state of America, republic, and one nation. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today, and anyone who speaks today, if you could, I'm going to need you to go up to the mic and speak there at the back of the room so anyone joining us online would be able to hear us. Everyone had a chance to review the minutes, and does everyone have a copy of IP 6 through 8? Does everyone have those copies? All right. We good. Hope if everybody had a chance to review the minutes, looking to a motion to approve. First by legislator Holst, second by legislator House. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, minutes are approved. First item up, IT1, resolution authorizing the capital project number 85, the airport terminal construction.
So this goes back to the state grant that we had received in 2018. We had designed a terminal building and we went out to bid last year for it and we were way over budget. So we went back to the drawing board, redesigned the whole building and took most everything fancy out of it. It's a very basic 3,000 square foot terminal building now, but it does put it in the right location. Every airport has landside and airside access where you can access from the airplane and from your vehicle. It just makes the traffic flow so much easier. We don't have that, so it's a big safety concern for the public. It also doesn't provide public access. You've all been out there and seen the chain link and barbed wire. Everybody just sees it and turns around. It's not really inviting. So we did go out to bid again and we're still short. So basically what it boils down to right now is the $860,000 that I have left from that state grant for the construction. We either have to add to it from Capital Project 192, or I've got to give that money back. We don't feel that rebid is going to give any different results to this project, and there's nothing more we can cut out of it.
Understand. From what I understand, you're looking to take the money from the other capital project?
That's correct, the Volney Sewer District project, yes.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Legislator Schott?
Brandon, we felt pretty confident when this went out for $1.2 million. I mean, is there any way that this could be down more? I just can't.
We have honestly cut everything. I hate to say, it's almost a double wide trailer at this point.
Wait a minute, for how much total? We're adding 600 to 1.2 million?
Correct, for a total of 1.8.
1.8 million, and it's a double wide at this point?
It is. So we've already spent a lot of money with FAA funds. We redid that apron to accommodate this building. In part of that, we ran all the fiber optic cables, put new pull boxes in. So a lot of the work is already done on top of that. And 120,000 of that 1.8 is our local share force account for that, which will get reimbursed 90%.
No, wait a minute, 120,000.
Is our local force account.
1.8 million needed to complete this building. Leaves 120,000 out of our packets to complete.
So, and we also paid 220,000 to CNS to design and engineer the building. And they'll also do construction administration and observation during the project.
The 220 came from
that 1.1
okay
grant from the state.
Brandon, answer me this question.
Yes.
We purchased that hangar last year. A year and a half ago.
Yeah, a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Okay. And that was going to bring a positive cash flow. Can you tell me what that's done for us to date?
So last year, we did not see much activity in that with all the COVID travel restrictions. The year before that, we were actually seeing some pretty decent usage out of that. Last year was very slow all the way around.
But they still had to hang these jets somewhere.
Right. But nobody was traveling. We
I
didn't see
understand
Exelon.
that.
We didn't.
But how many jets do we have in that hangar? Is that
There's one right now.
on an ongoing basis?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was another piece of the puzzle was that hangar. And then right adjacent to that hangar is the parking lot for this new terminal building. And then the terminal is right on the other side of that parking lot, which when Exelon or any other executives fly in, they can put the plane right in the hangar, walk out to the car. The terminal building's right there.
Well, was Exelon still flying in?
Not last year. We have seen them twice so far this year.
Well, maybe the sale of medical marijuana will up the business a little bit. I don't know. This scares me. This has been a lot of money, a lot of money. You're doing a great job. It has no reflection on you. But where does the buck stop at the airport is my question. I've yet to see it make a dime. Or even break even. I'd say fine to break even, but
What really scares me with this one is if we don't add to this and I give that money back, we jeopardize future grant funding with the state. We've been pretty fortunate the last 2 years with state grants. This was actually the maximum awarded through that project, through that program that year.
this is based on the 56 jets taking off and landing per day, right? That's how they get the formula.
I don't think that came from that. I don't know where the.
I mean, isn't that how we get the funding based on our landing and takeoff? That's what I got out of the manual that I read.
A lot of the FAA funding is based on that,
Okay,
not the state. The state's a little different.
okay.
I just wanted to, are you all set with me?
I'm set.
Okay, I know when you said you slimmed it down, kind of bare bones referring to the building, because I know a lot of this included some of the security stuff.
Right. That's all still in there. Yes. Yeah.
Because we know when we went there, you drive up.
Right.
Not only not very inviting, but you really don't know where to go.
Yeah.
And this, I know, addresses a lot of things.
Right. In the original one that we rejected all the bids, we had a beautiful ornamental fence that was a little more inviting. It was still secure, met all the requirements, but it was a little more inviting.
Right.
It's now back to a chain link with the coating on it, so it's a little more appealing, but not quite as appealing as the original.
And a lot of the anticipated revenue was for fuel, because you went by
Yes,
your
yep.
previous act. I just wanted to make sure I had. Okay, and due to COVID, obviously, travel slowed. And
Last year was
fuel.
very slow for us. Yes.
Understood. Is there any other questions? Anyone have any questions regarding this? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? One opposition to legislative staff?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next one, resolution establishing capital project number B0121, Henderson Road Bridge over Lindsay Creek. Go ahead, Kurt.
These next two resolutions are on a couple of bridges that we had on our list to do. I've got a few more to put on the list for the year, but I'd like to get started with these two because one of them got red flagged last fall, and the other one on the Holiday Road is about ready to get red flagged because the structure of the beams is pretty well deteriorated. So I just ask them permission to get started on these two bridges. Thank you.
Motion to move as a block, first by legislator Swift, second by legislator Holst. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none.
Thank you.
Here's the block. Thank you. Kurt. Okay, IT4, resolution authorizing budget modification for solid waste urban.
Yeah, so as you know, that turbine has been running for 35 years and the case was pretty steam cut. The rotor was pretty bad shape, had to be sent out. So this is just to take money from our unappropriated fund balance, put it in our operating line to repair the turbine.
Understand. Any questions? Motion to move by legislator Lockwood, second by legislator Holst. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. IT5, resolution appointing members of the Solid Waste Management Board. Anything you want to say on that, Mark?
Nope, that's all the existing current members, but that's something that has to be done by the legislature to.
Understood. Everyone's had a chance to review the list.
Move it.
First by legislator Twist. Or second by legislator Holst. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Carries. I hope everyone has had the chance to grab IT 6 through 8. IT 6 is the resolution authorizing budget modification for solid waste earth transfer from insurance recovery to automotive supplies and repairs. Go ahead, Mark.
That was a case where one of our vehicles was hit by another vehicle, so this is just to recover the insurance money to repair it.
Understood. First by legislator Holt, second by legislator House. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Carries. And for IT 7, resolution awarding professional services contract Earth PLC upgrade. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a pretty big project. So the PLC is what actually controls all the operations, everything in the plant. It's kind of a combination of some of it's actually original technologies in '85 when it opened. And then when they did the retrofit, like in 1999, that's our newest stuff on that PLC. So everybody knows electronics degrade over time. New ones come out every other year. So the company that actually, Modicon, which is our system, was bought out by Schneider. So Modicon doesn't even really exist anymore. So we talked to Schneider about actually updating it. They can take our software, convert it to the new software, and actually the CPU, the processors, replace the processors, and there's 16 what they call drops. There's big panels throughout the plant that have the inputs and outputs, and those cabinets are full of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of wires. So their technology, they can actually adapt, their new equipment to our old without rewiring the entire facility. So it's a pretty big job, and they're confident that they can copy our program, and convert it in their shop. And then during 5 days during our annual shutdown, take out the old equipment and install the new equipment and be back up and running for our stack test. So that's a pretty big undertaking.
Yeah. I've seen that. Does anyone have any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Carries. IT 8, resolution authorizing budget modification for solid waste for PLC.
So what's the total amount on that one? I don't have it in front of me. 550. All right. So why that is more is because the contract with Schneider is all the PLC stuff. We have servers, standalone servers at the IRF because that runs 24/7. So the PLC operates the plant, but those servers every minute are taking all that data that we have to report to the EPA. Goes on rolling 4-hour averages. We don't even know how old those servers are. So we've been working with the IT department. So at the time we upgrade the PLCs, we'd like to install new servers. And also as a part of the PLC upgrade, we have coaxial cable that runs the existing PLC. It goes to a dead end. We're going to install a new fiber optic loop so the data can go either way to facilitate the hot standby. So if one side of that goes down, you're still operating. So that's why there's more money, because there's more to the project. So it'll all go into that one project for the PLC upgrade.
Understand.
Move it.
First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Wilmot. Anyone have any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Carried. Those are the resolutions. On to bid reports. Okay, first bid report is the terminal building construction project, Oswego County Airport. Breakdown, as you can see. The first low bidder is Upstate Companies. At the total base bid of $1,138,800. And, oh,
Can I ask Brandon a question?
Yes.
This is on the general construction. Upstate Companies is the low bidder. Are you also recommending each of those three add-ons or what?
No, we're not doing the add-ons with any of it.
So just the base bid?
Just the base bid.
Because all the add-ons were also highlighted.
Correct.
That's why I wanted to-
Correct.
So the total base bid is that 1.1?
1.138.
Okay,
Yes.
not the 1.3.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, it'll be the same with the electrical, no add-ons to that.
understand, so we're.
And I believe if we award, we should probably do it pending legislature approval of the increase of capital project 85.
Yes.
Good. So we're looking to award the bid for the total base bid.
Well, you have a four-part bid here. You can award them all in one motion pending capital project, but we should read them, each of them if you'd like. Okay, so the first part of the bid is the JC. That's that 1.138. Lowest responsible bidders, Upstate Companies. The electrical, lowest responsible bidder was Scriba Electric with the base bid of 166,000 with none of the add-ons. On the next page, you'll see the plumbing portion of the bid. Lowest responsible bidder was Burns Brothers for $53,850. And the HVAC portion of the bid, lowest responsible is J&A Mechanical at $97,000. And these have all been reviewed by the engineer and
Yes.
found to be within spec.
And Upstate does meet the apprenticeship requirements. They're actually doing our T-hanger and the pump station, the sewer pump station.
Okay.
We include those all.
All at one award all the contracts in one motion pending approval of the budget amendment by the legislature.
Make a motion based off of what he just said.
First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Holst. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? One opposition by legislator Todd, one abstention, legislator Wills.
Thank you again.
Okay. Our bids, the next thing we have is the Town of Richland, Pulaski Courthouse lease renewal.
Nope.
I have that copy in here. Is that in resolution?
No, it's the Ferrous scrap metal.
We got 3 more bids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I crossed out the wrong stuff here. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Mark. Losing my marbles here. Yeah, just turn the page, huh? I promise, it wasn't too much off today. There we go. Okay. Okay, the next one is bid 003-21 Ferrous Metal. And this is going to, we have one sole bidder. That's what I understand.
High bidder. It's the only bidder,
Yeah,
actually.
this
They're
is
buying
the
our
one we want,
scrap.
The high bidder, that's
Yep.
correct. That'd be Weitzman Shredding for $100 gross ton.
There's a formula, that's actually, it doesn't really show, there's a formula, it's a market-based price, and this is the floor price, so it fluctuates with the market.
Understand. Any questions on that? First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Holt. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, carries. Next one up is bid number 004-21, furnished closed top ejector trailers. The low bidder on that is Spectre Manufacturing, and the cost is $59,744. That is per unit. Am I correct, Mark?
Yes.
You were looking for
3.
3 units for the total cost of $179,232. Motion to move it. First by legislator Holst, second by legislator Twist. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carries. And next, we have bid number 006-21, household hazardous waste disposal services. And this is in several different parts. Do you want to?
Yeah, because we have so many different commodities, and then you take the aggregate of all of them, and Clean Harbors is actually the lowest bidder, and they're the contractor that we've typically had anyway, so.
Understand, and I'm just looking for the case.
I mean, and it's an
Wouldn't
approximate,
be a
because we
total,
go,
it's per unit drop off.
Oh,
It's not,
okay, motion to award to Clean Harbors. First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Lockwood. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Bid has been awarded. Now we're on to
Mhm.
Reclaim courthouse release. Oh, there we go. And the next item up is a lease agreement between the county of Oswego and the town of Richland.
No, this does increase to cover our costs. The lease is approaching expiration, so we're re-signing with an increased revenue to us.
Dan, looking for a motion to move. First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Wilmot. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Carries. The soil and water lease renewal, that's for discussion. Soil and water lease renewal.
That their renewal is up. However, the legislature makes an allocation for them every year, within the budget, and then they have a rent that they pay back to us. But that lease needs to be renewed. It's whether you want any increase there or not. To me, it doesn't make any difference because we pay them a certain amount for programming each year. If you increase it, they have less money for program. I would just renew it at the current lease.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
If there's additional, I didn't know if Rich here.
Looking for a
Mr.
motion.
Chairman, we can bring a resolution on the lease to committee next month on that. We just needed some guidance on what to do with the rent, because as the county administrator stated, the rent goes up, their request may be more from the county because of the heavy funding from the county to the district.
Understand, so you're looking to date it?
Well, I think what the county attorney wants is some direction from from this committee of what they want in that lease, whether to do the same amount or increase it or decrease it. That's what he's looking for. Yeah. Yeah, he wants to know what the committee wants to do so he can draw up the lease
Oh, understand.
and bring it to their.
We were looking for a motion to keep it the same. Motion to keep it the same, and didn't I just? First-
Did you hear the question, Rich?
I forgot
If the committee wants to keep the rent the same, we can prepare a lease accordingly.
No,
No, Rich, the question is from legislator Lockwood, who is on their board. Can she make a motion to keep the lease the same, or should she be abstaining? She's
would
appointed by the
abstain.
legislature.
I would abstain.
I'll abstain.
okay. Looking for someone to make the motion. I'll make. First by legislator Wilmot, second by legislator Holst, to keep it the same. Renew the lease with soil and water. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion. And the last is the draft agreement with the DEC and the town of Redfield. Discussion. We all have this in our packet. Rich, would you like to speak on this regarding the angler parking? With the town of Redfield?
I was contacted by the town attorney some time ago about this issue, and then COVID visited everybody and it got pushed aside. The DEC would like to construct a fishing access area on the north side of the road. They presently have one on the south side of the road, which is correct. From the maps provided, the county has part of the ownership due to the fact the bridge is over 25 feet, and we maintain those bridges. And the town also has part of the ownership. The letter is not, I don't know if the town has signed off on the letter, so right now, we would probably, if it's acceptable to the committee, draw a resolution allowing the execution of some agreement with DEC in the town and in a suitable form to both town attorney and myself with DEC. I think the chair should sign this, not Phil, number one. Number two, we just got the map and I want to verify what we own, what they think we, and the purpose is for fisherman parking.
So you want to put this out then until next month to allow you more time, correct?
I think that would probably be better at this point. I have not been able to get a hold of the town attorney on the latest map that will circulate. So I think that we can just make you aware of it right now, that DEC wants to move the parking to the north side of the road, and we'll get a resolution and a proper agreement in proper form for the full legislature in this committee next month.
Or anyway, that was just discussion. Oh.
I'm close to, I know you.
Sorry, legislator, you can go ahead. if you'd like
Thank
to
you.
say anything.
Yeah, this has been an issue for like 3 years. We found out about it when the land across the south side of the road was purchased by Christmas, and they subdivided and they sold the land. And so part of the land they sold, the DEC put their parking lot on it. So there's a little issue there. So Bob Gannett and the town supervisor, I talked to her this morning before I came over here. And they went back a long ways, early 1800s, and they couldn't find any documentation whatsoever that the town ever owned any part of it, okay? So Bob was working with Miss Mitchell, but he's never got back to her, so if she looked at the letter, she didn't really understand why she would have to sign on.
Well, the highway law is roads that become public highways by use, if it's used by the public for 10 years or more
Right.
regarding town roads. And I think that the DEC just wants to be certain that the appropriate parties sign off on this. It'd be, town doesn't know anything, it'd be the equivalent of a quit claim saying, well, we don't, we'll sign this, but, we're not conveying anything, we're not defending anything. We may not be conveying anything, we may be conveying whatever we don't know what.
So maybe you can get a hold of Mr. Gannett and, so they can be communicated back to the supervisor. Because apparently he has not done that.
This wouldn't be giving away any of our, there's a bridge there, we have.
Kurt's here, but I don't really think that this is incompatible with any future bridge repairs.
Right, but I mean, we would still have the right of way, we're not signing away.
No.
Property is kind of like where the old bridge used to go.
Yep,
So we kind of straightened it out with the new bridge, so the county really doesn't have any use for that. We still have a pretty decent right of way for our bridge there. We just don't necessarily need that parking area.
oh, I just wanted to make sure we weren't.
That's
signing
where
away
it
any
developed,
of the
was
right of way that
the
we-
original bridge was that way.
He doesn't have a problem signing it. He just was kind of in the dark about the whole thing because Bob didn't communicate with it.
Yeah, what DEC sent us is more of a letter, and really it should be an agreement or something that can be recorded, in my opinion, with the clerk's office, as opposed, so 30 years from now, somebody can find it and need to, for purposes of DEC access, that type of thing.
Okay. Understand, reporting departments, central services, Greg, you want to say anything? Oh, sure.
Wanted to provide a few updates on key projects we have. One of the things that's been more high profile for us, as I think some of you are perhaps been painfully aware, is getting the audio visual stuff in this room updated. We have a rental system right now. I think we've worked through the learning curve on that, and that will help us also put together the bid spec that we, which includes conference room heat, and then also a few other key conference rooms across the county. For example, maybe one in each of our major buildings, so that we have really better capabilities for doing these kind of hybrid collaboration sessions. I think there was some concern that WebEx was perhaps not the right tool. It is a good tool, and I think you'll see with the hardware working the way it should, some of that had to do with myself and my team kind of learning the details of it with our audio engineers. But we've got kind of a crash course in that. So I appreciate you bearing with us while we've been working those bugs out, but I think we're on the right path with that. And touching on a couple of other key items on the handout I provided. One of the other things we're looking at doing is updating the county video surveillance system. That'll be a little bit different scope than perhaps what I had looked at a couple of years ago. There's a series of cameras at the airport that we want to pull into that. Also, talking with the sheriff's department about pulling their cameras into it as well, and having a unified system that we can more efficiently administer and really have more uptime. One of the other item bullet points that I have on there has to do with the Board of Elections. They recently received grant funding as part of a state initiative to make some updates, and really from state Board of Elections standpoint, it was really to align all of the county boards of elections so they have a sort of a uniform approach to how their systems are structured. And going along with that, there's a draft cyber regulation in development now from the state. It's out to it's been out to the commissioners a couple months, 3 months back, but it's out to IT directors right now for feedback. I think they really want to have that implemented by the fall, but for the next election cycle. So there's a number of obligations in there. The good news on that is because of funding that's been made available to the IT team for a number of different enhancements, we're in pretty good shape, or in very good shape relative to what we would have to certify as part of this new cyber regulation that's being developed. Plus, there's the grant funding that came from the state that we're working with Board of Elections to get them aligned with the template that the state has for how boards of elections are structured from a technology standpoint. So good news there as well. One other item in the update, I won't hit every one of them just in the interest of time, but from the personnel side, I have a vacant position working to fill. I've had a couple of applicants withdraw from that. It's not a large applicant pool to begin with, but a couple withdraw because it's a temporary position, and that's temporary because of ongoing arbitration. So that's a little bit of a challenge for us. We're busy like every other department. We're supporting clinics right now. Rabies clinics has started also, so we provide a staff member to that. And, I'm also anticipating a retirement here probably in July of one of my senior staff members. So we're gonna we keep hammering away and getting done what we need to get done, but it'll add a little bit more scramble, I think, to the middle part of the year for us. Any questions? I haven't been in front of the committee in a while, so I thought it would be useful perhaps to touch on a few points, but make myself available to any questions if you have any.
Anyone have any questions?
I love that you're doing the video surveillance system and all this. I think it's very needed from many standpoints, insurance, vandalism, anything. Definitive thing to go back to any of that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. We regularly make video available to OPD, sometimes also PD as well, but more typically, especially the cameras on the street side of this building. Pick a lot of traffic issues that are around.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Okay, is Rick? Ricky, you had mentioned earlier the need to go into executive session.
At this time, there's not a need for executive session. I'd ask that we put that off because I'm waiting to hear back from 2 other property owners.
Okay, so no need for executive session. I believe that's everything. Oh, go ahead, Brandon.
Sorry, I just want to bring up a discussion item. Warren County Airport actually just went out for RFPs for solar development on the airfield, and it looks like it could be a pretty lucrative option for us. There is a lot of steps that need to be taken to get towards that. We need glare analysis. We need to research the whole airport property to see how it was acquired. Was it acquired with federal funding, local funding, to see if it's an option to do this on the airport. But through the master plan update, we have identified that I think it's around 60 acres that we could potentially develop solar on the airfield pending FAA approvals and lots of other processes in advance. But I was looking for committee suggestion approval to move forward with potential solar on the airport.
As long as it doesn't cost any money, you can look at anything you want.
Thank you. Thank you. If anybody's got any ideas, suggestions on it, please feel free. But Warren County they're actually just reviewing their RFPs right now on it, and it looks to be a pretty good option for the airport. So we do have some land on the airport that we can designate as non-aeronautical. I do believe that we would have to come and make a local law allowing the airport property to be used for non-aeronautical purposes, but It's just a formality.
Okay, good to know. Anybody have any questions?
Brandon, what kind of revenue do you think this would bring?
We don't know. It would basically, what Warren County is doing right now is just a simple land lease, and they're just going out and requesting proposals from any developers. How much will you give us per acre?
It's my understanding they're giving about 25,000 for 30 to 40.
Yep, and we're around 60 acres.
I mean, would that restrict?
It would not, and that's what we're looking at is the airport properties way off in the corner over by Quarter Midget Club. There's plenty of property over there that really serves us no purpose, but it is part of the airport. So a simple source of revenue, it seems. But we do have to look at glare analysis through FAA, make sure it's approved. We also have to make sure wildlife, that there's no weeds or anything growing up around it, attracting birds or any wildlife towards the airport.
There never seems to be a simple source of revenue.
Right. As compared to other things.
Brandon, would they maintain it?
Yes, yes. Yeah, and if there was any fencing required, we would mandate that the developer install the fencing, maintain the fencing. It would all have to be put into the RFPs, but we've got plenty of property out
We're
there.
not committing any money to it. I don't
Right.
see any harm in looking at it.
Well, Brandon, I would note, Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
I would note that part of the airport property falls under the federal consent decree on Silk Road that we need to be mindful of. And also our insurance presently for the airport is on a separate policy from general liability. It's an exclusion on the general liability policy. So we'll need to look at that as well.
Okay.
Something you can get information on and bring it back. to-
Absolutely, yes. Yep. Yeah, it's very early on. We're looking to work with Warren County to see how they did it and how it worked out for them, if they would have done anything different. So yes, absolutely.
Great, thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Anyone have anything else? Looking for the appropriate motion. Motion to adjourn by legislator Twist, second by legislator House. All those in favor? Aye. Nobody could oppose this. Thank you all.